Hi guys, and welcome to the first in a series of videos we are putting together highlighting some of the fabulous dive sites we have here on our doorstep in the southwest of England. Obviously at the moment we're all desperate to get out and dive but can't do anything about it, so hopefully these videos might give you some inspiration as to where to go once we're all finally allowed to go back to our love of diving. This is not meant as an exhaustive briefing. This is my take on these dive sites, and hopefully you'll pick up some good hints and tips from them. It's aimed mainly at people who possibly haven't dived these sites before and need a little bit of confidence to help them, but hopefully everybody will enjoy them. First dive site we're going to have a look at is one of our favourites, Babbacombe. Babbacombe is a small South Devon town and part of the English Riviera along with Torquay and Paignton. It's approximately 1 hour's drive from Taunton and easy to find. The postcode will be listed on the dive map you'll see in a moment. Babbacombe Beach is accessed via a steep lane at the bottom of which you'll find a car park. It can get busy in the summer, so an early start is always good. There's a beachside cafe and toilets situated in the car park. Both are fabulous facilities to have so close to a cracking dive site. There is also the Kerry Arms if you fancy a meal or some accommodation. If you want to do multiple dives, make sure you take ample cylinders as there are no airfills available in Babbacombe. This site is suitable for all divers with easy navigation and no current to speak of. It's diveable at all states of tide, although entries and exits can be tough at low tide due to rocks and boulders. Hazards to think about are the fishermen who use the harbour wall and boat traffic. Make sure you take a knife and a cutting tool in case you get tangled in fishing line, and as with all sea dives, please take a DSMB with you to warn boat traffic of your presence. As it's north facing, Babbacombe is sheltered from the prevailing southwesterly winds. If the wind has any east in it though, Babbacombe is not the right choice. It'll be like diving in soup. So, how to do the actual dives at Babbacombe. As you can see from this lovely map, it's a very, very pretty dive site. This is the road that you'll be coming down into the car park here, which gives you a really, really cool setting up area along the beach wall, makes things really, really easy. There's two dives that I generally do here. There are more, and I hope that the more experienced people who dive Babbacombe a lot more often than I do might comment below with the other dives. The simplest dive that you probably want to do is to come down the steps from the car park. Once you reach the water's edge, you literally take a bearing northeast straight off the beach, straight out towards the drop-off, which is along here. So once you enter the water, you'll drop down in 2 meters, 3 meters of water, and you'll find you're on a kelpy, seaweedy, rocky seabed. So keep on your northeast bearing, swimming out from the beach. You might see dogfish, you'll see lots of wrasse, crabs, all the usual sort of suspects. After a couple of minutes, you'll find yourself at the top of what we call the drop-off. Now, when I say drop-off, it's about, I don't know, 4 meters. It's more of a sort of a rocky drop-off there, which just drops down. So once you get there, you can either swim along the top of it or drop down to the bottom. If you turn right, make your way along the drop-off, just having a look in all the nooks and crannies. You'll see all the sea creatures like lobsters, squat lobsters. We'll give you a list of all the possible things you might see in a minute. Make your way along the drop-off towards the harbour wall. As you're coming along here, you'll know when you're reaching the harbour wall, as you'll see a propensity of fishing gear, fishing line, all that sort of stuff that the fishermen have lost. So take care of that, make sure you don't get stuck on it, and if you do, you've got your knives with you. Once you've swum all the way along there, or as far as you want to, either time your swim, turn back the other way, come back for the same amount of time, and then head back in towards the beach, and you should find yourself right at the bottom of the steps. If you've swum along there and you decide don't want to swim back along the drop-off, just put a bit more west in your bearing back, and you'll come diagonally back across the kelp and the seaweed, and you'll find yourself again, hopefully, at the bottom of the steps. That is as simple as it gets. If you're really not sure about it and you're on your first dive ever at Babbacombe, maybe one of your first sea dives, just jump in, swim out and swim back. Just keep it as simple as you want to. You really find it very difficult to go wrong. The other dive at Babbacombe that we often do is Mushroom Rock. Now, Mushroom Rock is a little bit more challenging for me. It is a hit and miss thing. Sometimes I find it, sometimes I don't. Again, I take advice from my friends down there who dive this site a lot more often than I do. We generally come onto the slipway, which you get to by coming past the cafe to a slipway here, come off the slipway, and then again head sort of northeast out and hopefully find Mushroom Rock. I have done some investigation though, and I've been told reliably that if you come from the steps and you just swim in a northerly bearing, you should hit Mushroom Rock. Take it a bit more this side, swim back and you'll probably find it. Mushroom Rock is an amazing thing. Lots of nudibranchs apparently. I've never spotted any, but then I never spot nudibranchs, so no surprise there. Loads of life, jewel anemones. It's a cracking dive in itself. Generally, a couple of circuits around the rock, and then if you want to, then just swim to the drop-off, along the drop-off, and just explore around. It really is as simple as that. As I say, there are a couple of other dives that you can do, one of which, if you come further out, further over this way than Mushroom Rock, there is some seagrass, which in itself is a great dive. Also, you can come around the end of the breakwater and into this cove area here in amongst the rocks, and there's a swim through there. Now, I've never done that one, want to do it. You can either swim around the breakwater, or there is an entry point the other side of the breakwater just there. But hopefully, as I say, the more experienced guys who dive Babbacombe all the time might comment and tell us exactly how to do those dives. We've got a list on the right hand side there of all the sea life that you're likely to see. We're going to put a presentation on following this part of the video, showing you what you're going to see. It's a limited list. You'll see way more than we actually list on there. It is just a cracking site. Just very quickly, obviously you've got the cafe here. Really nice to sit outside there on a nice summer's day after a dive, having something to eat. Carey Arms, really lovely pub. Go in there, have something to eat. So I think that's probably about it. You can see that the depths, literally 3 meters, 3 meters. This varies with the tides, either high tide or low tide, and also springs or neaps. But generally around about 3, 4, 5 meters to the edge of the drop off. Once you drop down, you probably get 7 or 8 meters, maybe 10. I've only hit 10 on very few occasions. Out beyond the drop off here, if you swim straight out, it becomes silty and sandy. Again, lots of other different creatures you might see out there. I know people have seen monkfish or anglerfish out there. I've never seen an anglerfish. It's one of the things I really want to see. So yeah, go down there, give it a go. If you're not sure, give us a ring, put it on Facebook. Anyone will give you advice on how to dive it. Beach is facing northeast. There's north that way, and the postcode is up here. So hope that's useful to you guys, and here comes a list of all and a bit of a view of all the life you might see. The marine life at Babbacombe is amazing. Tompock blennies pop out to see who you are, dogfish lays in the rocks and weeds, and the cuttlefish are a sight to behold with their amazing colour changing abilities. Conger eels lurk in amongst the rocks of the drop-off, and for the macro photographers amongst you, the nudibranchs and jewel anemones are stunning subjects. Squat lobsters and prawns inhabit small cracks and holes, and if you look really hard, you might see a pipefish. You rarely swim along the drop-off without seeing one of the many lobsters that inhabit the bay. It's all here, but make sure you bring a torch to look into all the nooks and crannies. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We really hope you've enjoyed our focus on beautiful Babbacombe, and we are very much looking forward to seeing loads of you down there as soon as we possibly can. If anyone's got any hints or tips that they'd like to add about diving this site, it would be really handy if you could put it down in the comments below. We'd really love to hear from you. So thanks so much. Keep an eye on our Facebook page. We will be putting our next dive site focus up very soon. Stay safe. Take care.